Tonight, pulling rank. Passengers to pay more as Melbourne's troubled taxi industry gets a huge shake-up.
The biggest overhaul since the demise of the horse-drawn hansom cabs.
Abduction terror. A mother tells how her brave daughter fought off a predator on the way to school.
I couldn't believe that someone had tried to take my baby.
And rubbish rescue. How a little boy's curiosity almost saw him thrown out with the recycling.
I felt grateful that I was out.
This is 10 News at 5 with Stephen Quartermain.
Good evening. First tonight, a huge overhaul for the state's ailing taxi industry, with the Napthine government hailing the shake-up as the biggest in a generation. It includes a greater split of fares for drivers and aims to put more cabs on our roads. But the changes have left taxi owners fuming, many now demanding compensation. State political reporter David Woywood joins us live. David, what do these changes mean for the passengers?
Good evening, Stephen. Well, hopefully for passengers, this will mean a cleaner, more reliable and user-friendly system. The state government has responded to all of Professor Alan Fell's...
Angela Bishop with Matt Preston on the MasterChef red carpet. Now, here's Rob Borders looking ahead to tonight's sport.
Thanks very much, Stephen. To be sure, Nathan Buckley unhappy with the playing weight of one of his stars. Brisbane Lions skipper Jonathan Brown heads to the tribunal. Geelong ready to turn on the lights for Gary Ablett. Tomic and Stozer in action at Roland Garros as a young Aussie plays the match of his life. And the goal worth a cool $180 million. Crystal Palace and its Australian skipper Mile Jedinak win Premier League promotion.
Thanks, Rob. Coming up in 10 News, police hunt a driver who rammed a motorcycle cop during a high-speed chase. And a Mulgrave dental surgery gutted by an electrical fire. This is 10 News. A highway patrol officer left injured after being rammed by an out-of-control driver says the man shouldn't be on the road. But as Jade Vincent reports, the same silver Commodore was spotted speeding across Melbourne over the weekend.
Intercepting dangerous drivers is all part of the job for leading senior constable Jason Taylor. But last Friday... A faulty printer
is believed to have sparked the blaze. Coming up in 10 News, far-right protesters clash with police in London. A crane crashes into an apartment block in Russia. And Sydney vanishes in thick fog, causing air traffic headaches for Melbourne. You're watching 10 News. Violence has erupted in London as tension between racist and religious groups grow in the wake of the terror attack. It comes as a 10th suspect has been arrested in connection with the murder of British soldier Lee Rigby. Danny Isdale reports.
This, they chant, is their England.
We want our country back.
1,000.
In around half an hour's time. Stephen.
Thanks, Mo. Coming up, Maverick priest Father Bob calls on Cardinal Pell to resign over the Catholic child sex abuse inquiry. And shock tactics, the Confronting You campaign targeting the safety of young workers. This is 10 News, returning to our top story and Spring Street's sweeping reforms to the taxi industry. While the state government is applauding the shake-up, those behind the wheel are sceptical. Alicia Morrison spoke to some career cabbies.
There's no doubt many taxi drivers are fed up. Some are so dissatisfied with the government's reforms...
Until around 11 a.m. Now here's Rob with sport.
Thanks, Stephen. Line skipper Jonathan Brown rolls the dice at the tribunal. And speaking of rolling, Nathan Buckley admits Heath Shaw is battling with his weight. Chris Scott delivers a shirt front to the match review panel. A Socceroo leads his club to Premier League glory. 18-year-old Aussie Nick Kyrgios stuns a Tour veteran at the French Open, while this match at Roland Garros came down to a photo finish. Details next. Good evening. Lions captain Jonathan Brown is currently before the AFL tribunal, hoping to be cleared to face Collingwood on Friday night. The Magpies, meanwhile, set to recall Heath Shaw despite ongoing questions about his conditioning. Michelle Trewartha reports.
Heath Shaw hasn't only had to contend with injury and suspension this season, but also an ongoing battle with his fitness.
Play of the day. And that's sports, Stephen.
Thanks, Rob. Let's check traffic again and cross to Emma in the chopper. Emma, problems around Caulfield train station?
Yeah, that's right, Stephen. Got a train that has derailed here at Caulfield, right near the station. Now, thankfully not affecting roads around it, but of course affecting one turn to the south at Stud Road and Boronia Road. Have a good night.
Thanks, Emma. Mike's next after the break with the weather, and Big Cheese falling head over heels for the UK's weirdest sporting event. Welcome back, and one of the world's most bizarre events has rolled around again. It's the annual cheese rolling competition, with participants hurtling down a hill after a large cheese. This year it was made of foam that soft to make the race 100 years.
Tonight's weather report proudly brought to you by Big Tick Value from Terry White Chemists. Value Health.
Now, looking rather cheesy himself tonight, here's Mike Larkan.
Yeah, that's right, Stephen. Good evening. It's all about MasterChef tonight. It's about the pink for the girls, the blue for the boys, and Gary. That is the forecast. Gary, thanks for being a bit of fun.
You know, all I heard there was none of the weather, but roast chicken, parsnips, chestnuts, stews, braises, everything. Love it. MasterChef starts on Sunday.
Back to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Mike and Gary, and that's 10 News for this Tuesday. The project coming up at 6:30. Our late news tonight at 10:30. On behalf of the team, take care. Good night.